Fellas, AC here. Welcome to another video. This time I'm talking about a fragrance that was released last year, 2019. Carolina Herrera Bad Boy. Okay, official sample. I've got about 1.5 ml left. So I've given it a good wear, 2 wears, solid wears. This came out in 2019, so obviously I missed it in my year-end video when I did the top 10 releases of 2019. I'll put a link to that video at the end of this video. You can check it out. But if I had featured this in that video, it would have come in the mid-table. Yeah, that I'm giving a little bit away. So, Carolina Herrera Bad Boy is basically a Tonka heavy fragrance. And what do we know about Tonka? Nearly every fragrance in 2018 and 2019, half of them, were Tonka fragrances. So, one question passed my mind. Why don't these manufacturers realize that Tonka has had its day? Stop making Tonka fragrances. Nobody cares about Tonka. There are too many Tonka fragrances, but people just wouldn't listen. I don't think these guys are smart, you know. They don't do any research. They just keep making Tonka fragrances. I mean, come on. Anyways, Bad Boy. When you first spray it, it smells better than when you spray it on your skin. It smells better on paper. That tells me that you should be wearing this fragrance, if you buy it, on your shirt. When you first spray it, the very first reaction you will get is, it's too familiar. You smell it and you smell ambroxan, sweet Tonka, very resinous and thick, and it's just very, very familiar. Synthetic, yeah? First impression is that. But you may wait for 15 minutes and it changes. It brings in a note of cacao. And it also uses a note of amberwood. So amberwood with cacao and Tonka and ambroxan creates a little interesting story. But that cacao with amberwood reminded me of Hugo Boss, I keep forgetting the name, Private Accord, which I featured in the top 20 fragrances releases of 2018 video. It was right at the bottom. But that chocolate note reminded me of Private Accord. So this fragrance, so generic, so familiar, there's nothing here, but this happens after about 2 hours. For the first 2 hours, after the first 15 minutes, it also has this soapy freshness to it, which I liked. Along with that boozy, chocolatey, thick resinous smell, there's this freshy underbelly. And that freshness comes from pepper, white pepper, black pepper, along with thyme and cedar. The cedar probably brings in some woody element. There's no woodiness here, but there's this fresh soapy side under that chocolate accord, the cacao accord, not chocolate but cacao accord, which is slightly boozy, along with amberwood and Tonka. That's the scent. Little bit of development. It becomes quite generic after about 2 hours. This spray is about 2 hours old. It becomes slightly generic, or quite a bit generic, because, you know, as I said, Tonka is so overused and ambroxan that people just should be realizing that it's time. Leave Tonka and ambroxan alone. There are too many other ingredients to play with. But I think these guys are not very smart. They don't do their market research. Anyways, that's the scent. So upsides and downsides. Well, first 1 or 2 hours, it has that cozy smell to it. It's slightly seductive, maybe. But there are many other fragrances which do this job better. I'll give you an example. Versace Eros. If you want a bad boy scent, that's a really good bad boy scent, you know. So yeah, it's got this element of attraction, but there are many more. And the other one is, other upside would be, there's a party vibe to the scent. You know, ambroxan, amberwood, Tonka has this going out, celebratory undertone to it. There's a party vibe to it, and that's probably the market. If you look at the marketing, if you look at the advertisement at the moment here in the UK, this is being absolutely pushed down everybody's throat on televisions. They just keep advertising this. So there's this party element to it, nighttime element to it, certainly. So downsides, there are 2 upsides. Downsides, very familiar. This is so familiar, you know. Tonka. At the moment you smell a Tonka fragrance, if there is nothing much going on, you will be reminded of tons of other fragrances. Ambroxan, Tonka. So yeah, very familiar, generic. It becomes generic after about 2 hours. It sticks on your skin for about 6. It's quite generic. Those are downsides. So performance, I get about 5 to 6 hours. First 2 hours are good projection, because when I sprayed it on this paper, after about half an hour, left it, went out, came back in, and I could feel the whole room was filled with it. 2 sprays. So this has got good projection of paper. So yeah, it does have the ability to project, but Carolina Herrera fragrances don't have amazing performance. This one is no beast. So I get about 6 hours, 2 to 3 hours, good projection, good sillage, I'd say medium to good sillage. So performance side, it's okay. It's not that bad. Age groups, I think this is targeted towards the youngsters, because they are the ones who seem to like the Tonka Ambroxan combination, and this one has got the same thing. So this is targeted towards the 20 to 25 year olds who like to go out, but then there are many other fragrances that do this job better and are more interesting. But yeah, I'd say 20 to 25 is the age group, right kind of age group. But if you like Tonka, you probably could give it a try. So seasons, I think this is a cold weather fragrance. Reason being, you know, the kind of smell this is, if it gets too hot, I think this is going to choke you out. Or it won't choke you out, but it'll make you gag, I think. These sort of smells do make you gag when it's really cold, really warm. So if you're dancing and you've got 10 sprays under your shirt or on your shirt, it might make you gag. I don't know. But I have a feeling from experience that this is not a warm weather fragrance. Will I wear this to office, or would I recommend anybody wearing this to office? No. Unless you are in a field where you can get away with wearing such fragrances. For example, hospitality, entertainment business, that sort of thing. Maybe car salesman, maybe. Quite affable, the scent is. But if you are a white collar office worker, I wouldn't recommend it. This doesn't sit with the work environment. So, I think I've covered all aspects. How many marks? I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Reason being, and what does 6 mean? Do sample it. If you're in the 20-25 year old bracket, do sample it. You might like it, but there are many more fragrances that do this job much, much better. So is this a bad boy? It's not a bad boy. I think it's a pussycat that purrs. This is not a bad boy. There are many bad boy fragrances, you know, which really disarm women. This is nowhere near it. So Carolina Herrera, bad boy, 6 out of 10. See if you want to sample it. If you do sample it, if you like it, leave a comment. Take care. Bye-bye.